ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति
मूर्तिभेदविभागिने
मूर्तिभेदविभागिने
व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय
व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय
दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः।
दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भा शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम्
वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्।
वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु
सहनौ भुनक्तु
सहनौ भुनक्तु
सह वीर्यं करवावहै
सह वीर्यं करवावहै
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै।
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै।
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति।
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयम्।
ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयम्
व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम्।
व्यासेन ग्रहीतां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम्।
अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवत् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम्
अद्वैतामृतं वर्षिणीं भगवतीं अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम्
अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्
अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणि
यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः
यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः
वेदैः साङ्गपृथक्क्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः
वेदैस्साङ्गपृथक्क्रमोपनिषदै गायन्ति यं सामगाः
ध्यानावस्थितगतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति
ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति योगिनः
यस्यां न विदुःसुरासुराः देवाय तस्मै नमः
यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः
सुख दुःखे समे कृत्वा लाभालाभौ जयाजयो ततो युद्धाय युज्यस्व नैवं पापमवाप्स्यसि एषा ते विहिता साङ्ख्ये बुद्धिर्योगे त्विमां शृणु बुद्ध्या युक्तो यया पार्थ कर्मबन्धं प्रहास्यसि. In 38th verse, Bhagavan says, Same Krutva, have you balanced, have you made mind balance means equal in the subject matter of happiness, pleasure and pain, labha, alabha, having balanced your mind with the subject matter of gain and loss, and balanced mind with the reference to victory and defeat. When your mind will balance, tataha, after then, yuddhaya yujyasva, may you prepare yourself for the war, and in this manner, naivam papam avapsyasi, you never incur any papa. Bhagavan has said in 38th verse, and how anyone can not incur papa, samikrutva, having keep our mind balanced. So one Bhagavan has told from 11th verse to 25th verse, and that one is Sankhya Buddhihi. So we can keep our mind balanced if we have self-knowledge. But if we don't have self-knowledge, but still we can keep our mind balanced with, if you put karma yoga in our day-to-day life. So that's why Bhagavan has changed the topic from 39th verse. And Bhagavan says, how can we make our mind balanced? That I have told in Sankhya Buddhi Abhihita. With reference to self-knowledge, that wisdom Abhihita I have already told. But now, yoge tu imam shrunu. With reference to karma yoga, how can we keep our mind balanced? To now, imam shrunu. Now you will listen. May you listen. And if you have that karma yoga buddhi, yaya buddhya yuktaha. If you have that mind, and which type of mind? Buddhya means karma yoga mind. Karma yoga buddhya, if you have this type of wisdom, with the help of this yuktaha, when you become is a part of your life, then karma bandham prahasyasi. Prahasyasi, the meaning is you will be released from what? Karma bandham, the bondage of action, you will be released. How? Main thing is samekrutva. You keep your mind balanced either by self-knowledge, jnanam, or by karma yoga. Karma yoga is relative samekrutva, and if we have 100% self-knowledge, then our mind is always samekrutva. But Bhagavan says, now karma bandham, if you want to release this pap and punya, and if you keep your mind balanced, then yoge buddhi imam shrunu. please you hear. Buddhihi, may you listen the same wisdom with reference to Karma Yoga now. And that we were seeing now. We have seen Karma Yoga last Sunday, Saturday, and we have seen in Karma Yoga, there is a two-part. The karma is day-to-day Nitya Karma that we have seen elaborately. Nitya Karma means our daily duty. Nitya Karma means Pancha Mahayagna. All are called karma. And what is yoga? So it says yoga is nothing but proper attitude with reference to during performing karma and while receiving the result of karma. It's called yoga. How, with which attitude we are performing karma and with which attitude we are receiving the result of karma, it's called yoga. And karma means our responsibilities, our daily karma that we have seen. And how can we do karma that we have seen? We have to do each and every karma with Ishwararpan Buddhi. Ishvara is everywhere. So whatever I do, if right now I'm speaking, right now if you are listening, everything is nothing, action only, but with which attitude? Everything I am doing for Ishvara only. It's called, this understanding is called yoga. So doing karma to offering to Ishvara. Ishwar Arpana Buddhya, whatever I am doing is nothing but karma yoga. Performing karma with offering all karma to Ishvara is one part of karma yoga. And how can we receive karma phala, the result of karma that we have seen is a prasada buddhi. So I am listening, I am receiving everything from Ishvara, because Ishvara is, if all pervading, is all knowing, then whatever come to me is from Ishvara only. He is giving the result of my own action. So is a karma phaladata, and from Ishvara everything is coming, then I am accept each and every karma phala as a prasada. That attitude of receiving each and every result of karma is a prasadam from Ishvara. That is called second part of yoga. Performing karma is a Ishwararpana Buddhi, and receiving the result of karma is a prasadam. It's called karma yoga. And this karma yoga, what will do? So karma bandham prahasyasi. We can be released from our own bondage of karma. That everything we have seen. And lastly, I have told, somebody says karma yoga is different and bhakti yoga is different. But really speaking, each and every karma, if we are doing with devotion, then is a bhakti yoga only. I used to tell, if one child is there and he or she likes, suppose physics, then he has or she has done graduation, BSc with physics, then still he likes physics, then he did masters in physics, still he is interested in physics, then he can become a doctorate, PhD. But why he become doctorate, why he become masters? Because he loves physics. Same way, if some person, he loves Ishvara, he has devotion for Ishvara, that's why he is doing japa. He loves Ishvara, that's why he would like to do some meditation. Still, he loves Ishvara, that's why he or she would like to know, really speaking, what is the nature of Ishvara. So even Vedanta, true Bhakta can listen Vedanta. That attitude, everywhere, devotion is must. Without devotion, Vedanta can give arrogance. But with devotion, if you are listening Vedanta, it is a blessing. So Bhakti yoga, even all upasana is not different. Ishvara's devotion is inherent in all three type of upasana, either karma yoga, upasana and gnana yoga. Everywhere, devotion, bhakti of Ishvara is must. Either we are performing karma yoga, if we are doing meditation, or Shravan Manan Nididhyasana. Everywhere, Ishvara's devotion is 100% necessary each and everybody's life. Otherwise, it won't be blessings for us. That also we have seen. And we have that also last sentence we have seen. Self-knowledge without karma yoga is next impossible. Without karma yoga, we don't have any time. Atma Jnana. And same way, karma yoga is incomplete without Atma Jnana. Both are mutually connected. So, without karma yoga, Atma Jnanam is impossible, and without Atma Jnanam, karma yoga is incomplete. That we have seen. And now, before telling what is karma yoga, Bhagwan has done, advertisement. He is promoting his own karma yoga in next verse. In Sanskritam, it's called Arthavadaha. Here, Arthavadaha means to praise something. It's called Arthavadaha. And nowadays, what is coming in television, advertisement of one product. Same way, Bhagwan is advertising his own karma yoga. So in 40th verse, how karma yoga can be benefited to us is giving in 40th verse. Neha vikramana shosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Bhagwan has said, three things is possible if you perform, if you have karma yoga in your life. One, abhikramaha nashaha nasti, pratyavayaha na vidyate, and mahataha bhayat trayate. So let's see what Bhagwan would like to convey. So I have split each and every sandhi. So what is written in shloka, but really speaking, first benefit is abhikramaha nashaha nasti. This is first benefit. Second benefit of performing karma yoga is pratyavayaha na vidyate. And third one is asya dharmasya swalpam api anushtanam mahatah bhayat trayate. One who lives diligently this karma yoga, then he can be protected from great danger. Mahatah bhayat. And what is the mahatah bhayat? Is Shankaracharya is written sansar bhayat. And really speaking, sansar is not outside. Again, I would like to repeat, what is going on in our mind? Something we like, something we don't like. We have anger, we have greediness, whatever. All negativity is called bhaya, danger, fear. If we diligently do karma yoga, then we can be protected from this type of fear. Mahataha. And this is the maximum. First we will see what is abhikramaha nashaha nasti. The meaning of abhikramaha means effort. Nashaha means it going west. Na asti. It never go west. Our effort in karma yoga, if we have done even 10% of karma yoga, it never go west. So to understand what is abhikramaha nasti, so I have given one. And in Karma Yoga, we are not giving much weightage to worldly profit. But in Karma Yoga, we are giving importance for our growth of mind, what we call emotional maturity. So primary in inner growth is much important for Karma Yoga, not worldly benefit. Having kept this in mind, Abhikrama Nashaha Nasti. So there are two types of karma. We have seen many times, but one is called Sakama Karma and another is called Nishkama Karma. What is Sakama Karma and what is Nishkama Karma? One minute. Kamaha means some desire. Sakamaha means we are doing some action with some desire. I have given one example. Is a Vishnu Sahasranama. Rudram, whatever, is a Vishnu Sahasranama, Rudram. Somebody has decided, if my some motive, what I have, somebody has, in somebody's house, somebody is sick, suppose, and that person has decided, if my son or my relative will be okay, he or she is out of disease, then I will chant 100 Vishnu Sahasranama within 7 days. If they have taken Sankalpa, and that relative is okay, suppose it's become okay, there is a no problem, no health issue, then they have to perform this Vishnu Sahasranama within 7 days. 4 days, they have completed some amount of Vishnu Sahasranama, but some problem has come, some obstacles arise, and that person cannot complete 100 Vishnu Sahasranama within 7 days. Then that person, if they think, I will complete within 14 days, then it doesn't give any phalam. Because the Sankalpa was, I will finish within 7 days and 100 Vishnu Sahasranama, because being Sakama Karma. With desire, they have made this Sankalpa. So again, he or she has to start from scratch. Again, they have to chant 100 Vishnu Sahas with 7 days. Otherwise, it not considered. We used to say, no, we have done Sankalpa. Whatever we have done, we have to finish within their limit. Otherwise, it doesn't give any phalam. And if we cannot complete within 7 days, then we can get also some papa. So in Sakama Karma, what we have decided, within that limit of time, we have to complete. But here I have written Nishkama Karma, but let me write Karma Yoga. And one thing also I would like to clear, Karma Yoga is not Nishkam Karma. Karma Yoga is also Sakama only. But which type of Sakama? Here we are interested in worldly some benefit. But in Karma Yoga, we are not interested in worldly benefit, but we are interested in inner growth. So here also we have some desire, but desire is for inner growth. For Ishvara, we are doing some chanting for inner growth, and somehow we cannot complete that Vishnu Sahasranama. So we have decided, same, I will complete 100 Vishnu Sahasranama with 7 days for the sake of Chitta Shuddhi. If we have decided, and somehow we are not able to complete this 7 days Vishnu Sahasranama 100 times, but whatever we have done, if we have completed 50, we will get the result of 50. Chitta Shuddhi, we will get something. It's called the benefit that Abhikramaha, what we have initiated, that 50 times what we have started, that Nashaha Nasti. So whatever we have put effort for chanting, that we will get punyam. It's called our effort never waste in Karma Yoga. Even half, if we chant Vishnu Sahasranama, it will give result. But with Sakam, if we decided something, if we cannot able to do, then it never gave punya. It's like, somebody has harvested a crop in farm. But if rain is not sufficient, they cannot have harvest completely. It is called Sakam. But here somebody has decided, I don't want any punya. I'm just chanting because out of love. Even I'm chanting for Chitta Shuddhi. So whatever we are doing, we will definitely get punya. It's called Abhikramaha. Our effort never goes waste. Always we will get punya. If we complete 50, even somebody says, in Vishnu Sahasranama, 1000 name. If we are able to complete only 500 name, and somehow we are get up from chanting Vishnu Sahasranama, still we will get even punya of half Vishnu Sahasranama. That much Karma Yoga is powerful. That's why he says, whatever effort we put, it never go waste. It's called Abhikramaha. Iha means in this Karma Yoga, Abhikramaha Nashaha Na Asti. Our effort, 100% we will get whatever we have done. If we have done half, we will get half. If we have done 75, we will get 75. But in Sakama, we never get. What we have decided, we have to complete. Otherwise, zero. It's called the benefit of Karma Yoga first. Abhikramaha Nashaha Na Asti. This is first benefit. Second benefit is Pratyavayaha Na Vidyate. The Pratyavaya means side effect, adverse effect, opposite effect. There is no opposite effect of Karma Yoga. And how? What is the adverse or opposite effect? So something, if I have some infection and I have taken some antibiotics, that antibiotic can clear our infection. But if I have some allergy of this antibiotic, then it can disturb our stomach. Even sometimes can take our life also. If 100% we are allergic to this antibiotic, it's called Pratyavayaha, adverse effect, opposite effect. But in Karma Yoga, there is no opposite effect. Whatever you do, even with love, without love, but if you make sankalpa, whatever I am doing, only for Ishwar Arpan Buddhi, so there is no defect, no adverse effect. Even, Ishwara is never get angry. Sometimes we are not happy with Ishwara also. If somebody, we have decided, I will do something like this, and we are not able to do. So sometimes we also angry with Ishwara, but somehow we are doing japa, but Ishwara never consider our angriness. Whatever we have done, definitely he will give result. It's called Pratyavaya. So in Karma Yoga, iha Pratyavayaha na vidyate. There is no any opposite effect. That's why in Shastra it says, if you are angry, so when you can relieve your anger, only one place is there in Ishvara. We can speak whatever we have angerness, we can throw on him. But he never said why you are throwing on him. Na pratyavayaha na vidyate. This is second benefit of Karma Yoga. And third one is Svalpamas apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Here, asya dharmasya, the meaning is of this dharma here is Karma Yoga. Here dharma is not papa punya. Here dharma is not our duty, But here dharma is of this karma yoga, svalpam api anushtanam. If somebody has able to do only little bit effort, that effort also can protect us from great fear of what? Samsara. And always, somebody always tells why in our scriptures is written, Sansara is fearful. They are written, Sansara is dreadful. But really speaking, in our scriptures mind, Sansara is not sitting outside. Sansara is not people. Sansara is not relationship. Then what is Sansara? Sansara is what is sitting in our mind. Which is sitting in our mind, it never keeps allowed to sit peacefully. It's called Sansara. So our own like dislikes, our own angerness, our anger, our own greedy, our own jealousy, all are called Sansara. And this only negativity never allow mind peaceful. That if we diligently we put karma yoga in our life, then we can save. That karma yoga protects us from the fear of samsara. Why? Because karma yoga helps samekrutva. That's why I have taken that 39th verse. Samekrutva means karma yoga help us to keep our mind balanced relatively. But relatively, our mind is balanced, then no problem. If Gnanam comes, 100% our mind will be balanced, but with the help of Karma Yoga, our mind have no so much complaint. Without complaint, our mind, it's called, we are protects from samsara. And how can it helpful 100% from samsara? That's why I have written, by doing, actually really speaking, karma yoga, the result of karma yoga is chitta shuddhi. Chitta shuddhi, the meaning of chitta shuddhi is our mind is ready to accept each and every person as they are. This is the benefit of karma yoga. Then our mind is ready, then we enter in upasana yoga that we have seen. That upasana gives us benefit is our mind will be focused. With focused mind, if we start listening Vedanta, then Shravan, Mananam and Nididhyasanam help 100% Mahataha Bhaya Trayate. And here also Bhaya is what is sitting inside. That's why Narada told in Chandogya Upanishad, Bhagavan Aham Shochami. I am very much sorrowful. I am very much sad. And I heard Atmavit Shokam Tarati. He said in Chandogya Upanishad, one who has self-knowledge, he will cross Shokam. This Shokam consider as Bhayam. Death is not Bhayam, even birth is not Bhayam, but here Bhayam means fear is what is sitting in our mind. So Karma Yoga helps relatively Mahataha Bhayat Trayate, in self-knowledge completely saved us from our mind Bhayam. What is sitting in our mind is 100% goes. So it is the just beginning. Karma Yoga helps to keep our mind balanced. And more our mind is balanced, more and more we are ready to accept people as they are. And if our mind has no complaint with anyone, then sansar bhayat trayate. We are just protect. We are just come over from the fear of people outside. This is the 3 benefits of Karma Yoga. First one is abhikramaha, nashaha nasti. Second one is no opposite effect, side effect, and little bit if we put karma yoga in our life, then we are protect from our mind bhaya. So here sansara means our mind, what is going on in our mind. Is here actually Shankaracharya is written bhayat means sansarat, and what is sansara is mind's turbulence, churning. Our mind keep on churning. Why this? Why this? We will protect. Karma yoga will protect. This is the benefit. And again, Bhagwan has said in another next verse. This is the best verse. If one can understand, it is very helpful to us. Vyavasayatmika buddhihi एकेह कुरु नंदन बहुशाखाह्यनन्ताश्च बुद्धयो व्यवसायिनाम्. Here Bhagavan says vyavasayatmika buddhihi, vyavasayatmika buddhihi eka. So here I have written Kuru Nandana. So, O descendant of Kurus, iha, here in Karma Yoga, here again, whenever here, iha is equal to in this, the meaning of in this means in this Karma Yoga, vyavasayatmika buddhihi eka. Here, vyavasayatmika in North, in Hindi, vyavasaya means business. But here, the vyavasayatmaka buddhi is not business, but vyavasayatmika means well ascertained understanding. Buddhi, not intellect, but our understanding. Vyavasayatmika means well ascertained. So, and bahushakha anantascha buddhayaha avyavasayina. Avyavasayinam, one who doesn't have well ascertained buddhi, for them bahushakhaha anantaha, for them they have multi branches, they have different type of buddhaya. Here buddhi means notions, their notion is multi branch and endless. But first we will see, this is the main thing, vyavasayatmika buddhi, well ascertained buddhi. So what is well ascertained wisdom, buddhi? So first we will see what is vyavasayatmika. It says, while we are performing karma, we are performing karma, so all and every action, it has three defects. Every action has three defects. One is dukhamishritatvam. Second one is atruptikaratvam. And third one is bandhakatvam. So what is the meaning of dukhamishritatvam? It says each and every action, what we are doing is mixed with pain. Always is mixed. Mishritatvam means is mixed. Dukkham means pain. And how? So suppose we have decided, I would like to earn money, I would like to buy own house, I would like to buy a car, and I would like to maintain some relationship. So it's one sentence in Sanskritam, Arjane dukkham, rakshane dukkham, gate dukkham. If we would like to increase our bank balance, money, it's not easy. So to earning money, it's not easy. We have our all experience. Arjane dukkham means while earning, we have to go through lots of pain, The pain in the sense, we have no comfortable life. Something we have to sacrifice for money. Time we have to sacrifice. Sometimes family we have to sacrifice. So arjane dukkha. So while earning we have pain. Then rakshane dukkham. If we have money, then we can't sit peacefully. We have to maintain, no? If we have profit 1 crore or whatever, 1 million, then we have to maintain that profit. Otherwise, we feel unhappy next year if we have not that much money. So, rakshana dukkham. Even while maintaining this all money, even house, even car, and even relationship, to maintain relationship, to maintain car, house, everything is rakshane dukkham. And whether we like or we don't like, gate dukkham. One time, everything will go. Either we go and other thing will go. Suppose money we have, but we don't know where we have to live. Relationship also, we don't know whether both will depart or anything. Everything is gate, everything will go. So each and every karma is mixed with pain. This is the first disadvantage of karma. Second is atrupti karatvam. We never have satisfaction. Atrupti karatvam. When we are learning from Pujya Swamiji, the Pujya Swamiji has given one slogan. I think it is in one advertise, you must be knowing. Dil mage more. Whatever we ask more. No, I need more, I need more. So always, dil mage. Anything, even in Czech, in India, I don't know how to write in US or anywhere, but here we used to write 1 crore only. Means still only. So whatever money, we never satisfy. No satisfaction. Even in relationship also, we never satisfy. Always we are expecting some and more, much more. So atrupti karatvam. Second defect of karma, action. And last one is bandhakatvam. It binds us. This is also Pujya Swamiji's sentence. First we say we are using as a luxury, and that luxury become necessity. Without fan also people used to sleep. Then fan comes, then cooler comes, then AC comes. When AC comes, without AC, then AC becomes bondage. So more comfort becomes more bondage. Even I used to say, we have servant in our house, but who is the boss? Servant is boss or we are boss? Sometimes, servant says, tomorrow I will come at 9 o'clock, you keep ready, everything, whatever. Then we get up early and we finish everything. Because servant is coming at 9 o'clock, no? So who is the boss? So always, even servant binds us, money binds us, everything. So all three are defects of action. Dukhamishritatvam, atrupti karatvam, bandhakatvam. Then if person is some discrimination power, then starts thinking, and what person can think? He thinks, in spite of doing everything, still I have satisfaction. Is anything is available in this world? So if I will get, then it never goes. It's called, now some maturity has started. It's given one mantra in Mundaka Upanishad, well famous. Pariksha lokan brahmanaha nirvedamayat. The meaning is, here brahmanaha means a discriminative person, one who has gone through all dukhamishritatvam, atruptikaratvam or bandhakatvam, having examined. Pariksha means having analyzed, having examined lokan, the result of action. Lokan means karma phalam. having examined all karma phalas, Brahmana, that discriminative person, has developed Nirvedam, means dispassion. He developed Ayat, means he developed this dispassion. Vairagyam, Nirvedam means Vairagyam. And what is his thinking? This is the main thing. Akrutaha krutena nasti. Here akrutaha means moksha. And akrutaha means which is not achieved by any action is called krutaha, means done. Akrutaha means which is not done, which is already with us. That akrutaha cannot be achieved by action. Akrutaha krutena nasti. And for that, Kshotriya Brahmanishtam Adhigacha. Then he went to some Brahmana, some Guru. So one person who has decided this all karma cannot give 100% happiness, all karma cannot give 100% security, all karma cannot give 100% peace of mind, then how can I get all three, happiness, security and peace 100%? Then he understood, I have to perform in my life karma yoga, I have to perform in my life upasana yoga, and one who decided I have to go through jnana yoga, that mind which has decided, it's called a certain mind. Vyavasayatmika buddhi. This is called Vyavasayatmika. One who is understand this all karmas cannot give happiness, but still I use karma not for happiness, security and peace, but I use that karma for chitta shuddhi. I use all meditation karma for focusing of my mind, and then I will go through Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasana. This one who knows this all, I used to say, the way of life, one who understands, and then he starts to perform karma yoga, that person's mind is called Vyavasayatmaka buddhi. And how much this type of buddhis are available? So Bhagavan says, Eka, it is only one. Because if you want to go to, suppose, capital of India, so only there is a one national highway. There may be, but it will go to only one national highway. Other roads can be joined, but lastly we have to go to one national highway, and national highway is only one. Same way, karma yoga, upasana and gnana yoga, we have to go through is like a national highway. And through this, I have to go through this type of understanding is called Vyavasayatmika buddhi. And there are not two buddhi, three buddhi, four buddhi. It's only one, Eka. One who decided, I will diligently perform karma yoga because I need purification of mind. I will go through all type of meditation, japa, because I need a focused mind. I will do Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasana because I would like to know who I am. Because in Vedanta it says, I am a source of happiness, I am a source of security, and I am a source of all type of peace. So I would like to know, that's why I have decided I will live my life like upasana, karma yoga, and gnana yoga. That understanding is called Vyavasayatmika buddhi. And it's only one. And one who doesn't know all these things, that person are called avyavasayina. So next Bhagwan has says avyavasayina. There are, I used to say Vyavasayatmika buddhi is very few person has. Very few person has this type of buddhi, but One who doesn't have this type of a certain buddhi are many. It's called avyavasayina. It's indiscriminate people. There are many. Even Puja Swamiji used to tell us that one person at the age of 80, he asked me, I would like to ask some question. Swamiji says, what you would like to ask? He says, what is the goal of life? Even a person who doesn't know what is the goal of life at the age of 80, then Swamiji said, nothing, how to die. Only we have to learn. So, such person are called avyavasayina. One who doesn't know why this life is given, what is the goal of life, how to we can live our life. One who doesn't know, that person are called avyavasayi, indiscriminate people. One whose buddhi is not a certain, what should I do, what should I follow. And for such person, this buddhayaha means notions, bahu shakhaha. Shakha means branch, bahu means multiple. It's a multiple branch. Somebody says if you worship Ganpati, Gnana Ganpati, it will give knowledge. Then one person start doing japa of Ganpati. After 1 year, Gnanam doesn't come. Then say, why are you are doing japa of Ganpati? Try Shiva, Shiva will give Gnanam. Then that person is starting to chant Shiva. After 1 year, he's again tired. Again he starts some Devi. It's called, he doesn't know anything. Or it's called Bahushakha Anantaha. It's endless. If we are not certain what I want in this life, there are many, many pralobanas. They are ready to catch us from different. There are many hatha yoga, many meditation. There are many things. They say if you do like this, you will get this. I would like to share, but I have no fear. There is a Brahma Kumaris, if you heard the name, Brahma Kumaris. The Brahma Kumaris says, we are not Hindu. First they announce like that, they are not Hindu. And they say, you will get Shiva. If you do something, you will get Shiva. Means, then we thought Shiva means our Shiva, Then when we go there, then the meaning of Shiva is some person, is a local person. One who has started this cult, Brahma Kumaris, his name is some, I don't know, he's a Sindhi community. You will get that Sindhi person if you do japa. People are there. There are many followers of Brahma Kumaris. There are many followers of Dada Bhagwan. They say Vedanta is not practical. We will teach you how we can become practical. So people join them. It's called Avyavasayinam Bahushakha Anantaha. Their buddhi, their understanding are endless. Their notions are endless if they don't know how to live a life. So this is in which one? In 40th verse, Bhagwan has praised Karma Yoga, and in 41 verse, Bhagwan has praised Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. Without this understanding, people cannot have Atmajnana. We have to select what we want. Then we can arrange our lifestyle. More we will see tomorrow. Anything you would like to ask?
Swamiji, I heard Pujya Swamiji said that this verse 2, chapter 2, 41st, that you just walked us through, to him is the most important verse in Bhagavad Gita and in the entire Shastra. Because of the clarity it gives us to what you should be clear about.
Swamiji, and I have a desire, I set a goal, I work towards it. And in the middle, I realize this is not going to give me satisfaction. It's going to bind me. That's happened a couple of times. Is it good to continue and finish that goal?
No. It says when person are young, people are young. So each and every young people don't have desire for moksha, for Vedanta. For such person, it says you do everything, whatever your goal, what is your desire, but while performing a karma, whatever you get, even whatever you get half, but you just offer to Ishvara, nothing else. Then you enjoy whatever. This is the just beginning of karma yoga. It's called Sakama Karma Yoga. It's for young generation, young people. Young people say, I don't want to earn money. It's useless, no? Every young people should earn money. So we need money, everything we need. But whatever come, even we prepared a big house. But first we offer Ishvara, this house I have prepared. You please enter, you live in house and I will live as a rent. This type of thinking, is called Karma Yoga. It's not, I'm just go away. Anything? 1 minute. Yeah.
What exactly is Nididhyasanam?
Nididhyasanam is, what is the meaning of Nididhyasanam? Suppose that's the Chinmayananda's story, if you have heard. One person thinks, I'm a caterpillar, He always thinking, I'm a caterpillar, I am caterpillar. He never goes out. Because if he goes out, there are many birds are sitting in the trees. They can take caterpillar, they can eat. So he always thinking, I'm a caterpillar, I'm a caterpillar. Then all family members took him to some psychiatrist, and then psychiatrist give therapy. And he makes sure that you are not caterpillar, you are a human being. So he showed mirror, he showed a caterpillar, real caterpillar. And then after 6 months of these sittings, with the psychiatrist, he confirmed, no, I am not caterpillar, I am a human being. Then he says to doctor, now I know I am human being. Then doctor says, go out. Now you are human being, you are not caterpillar. You can go to your home by walking. Don't use vehicle. Then he goes out from doctor's clinic. When he is going out, the trees are there, birds are there. They all are, perching. They are making noise. Again he runs and he goes back to doctor and he says, birds are sitting outside. Doctor says, what's problem? They should be there only because they are birds. But why you are worried? You are not caterpillar, doctor says. He says, I know. I am not caterpillar, but birds, they don't know, no. I am not caterpillar. So they will eat. So what is Nididhyasanam, Always we are saying to us, I am a body, I am a mind. What are the problems is mind only. But Nididhyasana is, you keep on telling your mind. You prepare your mind. This body and mind is mere instrument is given to you. You are not body and mind. So anyway, we keep on telling to ourselves is called Nididhyasana. We can do by sitting in meditation, even while driving the car, whatever. But to keep on telling, to preparing ourselves is called Nididhyasana. Anything? So can we say Purnamada then?
Yes.
Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.
Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.